Gwenna and Sophia are art dealers at a local museum in France debuting Picasso's Black period in his life. But what Gwenna and Sophia don't know is that they have a very special visitor that is just dandy.
Throughout the course of the 19th century, classicist art had come to an end of its rope, leading to several new art movements, which sought to find new ways to create art that matched the times, as classicist art was no longer able to. First the Impressionists, then the Post-Impressionists, and finally the Fauves managed to shock traditional art into submission, opening up wide roads of artistic expression. At 16 years old, Picasso was under the influence of his conservative parents and saw no future in innovation and only wanted to become a classicist. Pablo realized that he himself was unable to progress the following classicist route and turned to avant-garde art, but still based on the aesthetic values of his classicist roots.
That's fantastic. When the loss of a friend led to Picasso's blue period, under the influence of his distress and also the Spanish old master El Greco, Picasso's earlier romantic style made way for a gloomy, ominous elegance, which was far more expressive, and for the first time, he was beginning to show a style of his own, instead of the repetition of other artists' styles, as he had formerly done. Then, when his living conditions in Paris improved, and Fernand Oliver would become his lover, his style regained its romantic, aesthetical quality during Picasso's Rose period. What the heck is going on? Near the end of the Rose period, and maybe related to a short visit to Holland, Picasso's style became more direct and more intent on the basic, rather than aesthetical side of art. What?
Hello, I am Picasso, and I am back from the dead, here to describe to you some of my paintings and what my life was like. I would always remain aesthetic at heart, and every now and then my urge to innovate made the structuralism in me surface, often resulting in shocking effects. My artistic ambition was such that I endured long ages of personal poverty in order to be able to innovate and rise above my more cautious coworkers. Like Van Gogh, found a love in Japanese art, I came under the spell of African art and used its primitive power to shake off my perfectionist mannerism that offered no possibilities to innovate. Before I started my Black period, I came into the possession of an antique Iberian sculpture that I got from an acquaintance. In my painting, Les Demoiselles d'Avagon, the faces of the three women on the left are based on these Iberian sculptures. So as to avoid compositional monotony, I based the faces of the two women on the right on the African totem art that I also collected.
Throughout Picasso's career, periods would be decided by a major artwork that contained all the new things he had learned. Now it was up to the Demoiselles to show what he had been up to during his Black period. Later in his life, making the Demoiselles, there seemed to be ample evidence that he was familiar with and was already collecting African art while making the Demoiselles. Picasso recognized that a visit to the Trocadero Museum changed him, but he didn't say why. Some pieces of African art in the Trocadero are as much wonders of the world as the Pyramid of Giza or the works of Rembrandt, not formally or intellectually, but for their incredibly emotional intensity. Throughout Picasso's work, you can see references to some of the African masks that he saw. Picasso's unique gift to art was his unparalleled flexibility that allowed him to identify, engage, and use it in his own art.
Okay, so one reason for Picasso's interest in African totem art, which refers to African woodcuts that served to erect evil spirits, was that he identified with the element of erection. Picasso had an intrinsic fear about him, and many of his paintings bear a strong sense of loss. Feasibly, Picasso's friend Alice Toklas best summed up Picasso's disposition by when she first saw the demo size, she described the painting as painful and beautiful and oppressive, but imprisoned. That may well describe how Picasso felt during his Black period, during which he was caught between the viable expectations of his dealers and his own artistic ambitions.
In no small part, my Black period was a reaction against the typical art trade. During my Rose period, I pondered in terminologies of Peruvian elegance, paintings that are now more popular than Cubism. But then the French got check, and so much on my nerves that I called upon the icons of Africa in a brothel in Avignon to paint the De Mossai. The superficiality of Impressionism, as I perceived it, became my battle cry, and until my dying day, I would attack even the great Monet. My Rose period had attained my stable living, but by making aesthetically pleasing Peruvian society sites, it had hurt my pride as an artist and as a man. My Black period would become a mad rush for artistic integrity, something I valued above all.
Go.
During a bad experience with hashish, he cried out, stating that he wanted to kill himself because he had nothing left to learn, and that one day Wall would delay his development and prevent his understanding of the secrets of art. And from then on, he would make art that had balls. One of Picasso's greatest fears was to be poor as an artist. He revered Cézanne for the concern that his work expressed, an anxiety possibly caused by Cézanne's limited technical capacity, a problem he solved by a number of structural innovations, which inspired Picasso to do the same.
Alright, so in the world of modern art, the year 1905 fitted Henri Matisse perfectly. During the Salon des Ottomans, it was a Paris art show, Matisse had dazed the art world with innovative paintings, and a new ism was born. When art critic Louis Boxellis referred to Matisse and his followers as the fauves, which were referred to as wild animals, thus fauvism was born. Matisse had become the messiah of contemporary art, and a role Picasso had foresaw for him. During 1906, Picasso became ever more edgy, resulting in long days and nights of non-stop drawing and sketching. He was preparing for Les Demoiselles, which was the bust of sailor or woman, study for Les Demoiselles.
Go.
As mentioned before, to me, African art represented exorcism, but also masculinity. As such, Les Demoiselles is a quaint mixture of stylistic and sexual extremes. This reflected my bohemian lifestyle and my circulating with people of convoluted sexuality. The irony of the matter is that these very people, my friends, who were sexually experimental and basically did everything that God forbids, were so upset at seeing Les Demoiselles that they declared me insane and avoided me for a period of time. I had reached my goal of surpassing Matisse and becoming the lead artistic trendsetter, but abandoned by my friends as I experimented the public reaction to innovate genius. Try to keep it up, bro. Oh wait, it didn't work this time. Do you guys want to go get some food?
Yeah.
McDonald's? Wait, who's McDonald's? Where's the markets around here?